Now look at that face. Now that's the face they talk about when we hear the phrase sleeping like a baby.
This baby be sleeping like he had a job.
But let's be honest, it's not always like this. I have gone through quite a few sleepless nights myself. And I know there are some of you out there that know what I'm talking about. Middle of the night crying, fussing, diaper changes, 2 a.m. feedings, and you're walking around half awake. But why is that? Why does my baby have trouble sleeping through the night?
I got a little sweet pea over here who needs his pajamas on.
Sleeping through the night simply means the baby did not disturb the parent's sleep. Nobody, not a baby, not an adult, ever really sleeps through the night. We're just not aware of our awakenings.
Wait a minute. If they're not sleeping through the night, what are they doing?
Babies wake up about every 60 minutes, look around, make sure everything's okay, and they go back to sleep. It is a misconception to describe babies as being light sleepers. They're short sleepers. They have short sleeping bouts, but once they're asleep, they're very deep.
Now, Dr. Palayo says adults do this too, but on a longer cycle, about every 90 minutes. So you and your baby are not on a routine yet. So it's brutal, but actually pretty normal.
Where are you going? Go to sleep.
At birth, babies will sleep randomly, and there seems to be no predictable pattern to it. They sleep a lot of hours. They sleep about 18 hours.
And with all that sleeping, you know they got to be hungry.
Right? Babies are feeding. They have very small stomachs. They need to be fed more often. When we talk about babies, probably the most common reason they wake up at night is because they're still being fed at night. The family has to decide how much feeding they're going to be doing and how much nursing they're going to be doing. But the babies that are sleeping so-called through the night are breastfeeding less.
But trust me, it won't be like this forever. Babies slowly get the hang of it. I was lucky to have my twins who seem to feed off of each other's sleepy energy.
And babies start emerging the circadian rhythm by the time they're 1 week old. By the time they're about 6 weeks old, they'll have a much more predictable pattern as far as when they'll be awake and when they'll be asleep.
And this is where biology can meet some parental guidance. So for example, I like to sleep at night like most parents. So I made sure to get those twins to sleep at the same time as me.
I think the first thing you want to do is have the parents have a healthy routine. It's very tempting for parents to try to adapt themselves to the baby. But in reality, the baby is born sleeping randomly, and the baby is primed to actually adapt to the parent's sleep cycle. And we can break it down and make it very predictable to them.
But one small disclaimer, and this one hurts me too because I love holding my babies. But you don't actually want them to fall asleep in your arms.
If you associate sleeping with being rocked in somebody's arms, being kissed and loved, it's so loving, it's so beautiful. But then an hour or two later, you find yourself on a flat mattress in a crib and nobody's holding you, you should notify people that something has changed.
I'm guilty as charged, Your Honor. I love holding my babies and feeling their heartbeats. But yeah, although the twins were easy, my youngest is liking my hugs for just a little too long now. And I need a little help.
His daddy is jealous of this.
So one of the common principles is that babies should fall asleep in safe situations and find themselves later in the night. So that's why we want to maybe put them down in their sleeping surface when they're drowsy but not fully asleep.
And don't be fooled if they seem fast asleep, but they're still latched onto you or a bottle. They're playing you hard.
It's so natural to have a baby fall asleep as they're nursing or being fed. But babies have the ability to suck in their sleep. They have a sucking motion, but they don't really swallow. No, the baby's not hungry. The baby's just reflexively sucking.
So you really want to get them just right when putting them down. And while there's a lot to go over on how babies sleep, Dr. Palayo sums up some key milestones.
By the end of the 3 months, you should have a clear sense of the babies getting the bulk of their sleep at night. 3 to 6 months, then they should no longer need to be fed at night. Parents can decide to feed them because they want to encourage nursing, but they should not require to be fed at night.
My doctor is actually who encouraged me to know that eventually babies don't need to be fed at night. They're only feeding at night because they're used to feeding at night. They can actually go longer hours if you allow them to go longer hours. So I said, bet. You can wait until the morning.
6 to 12 months, the baby already knows where they're going to be sleeping. The baby kind of starts anticipating what's going on. The baby recognizes the parents. They already know what's going to be happening. And sleep should not be a huge turmoil.
So no matter how your baby gets to sleep, just remember this precious sleeping face once they do. It makes it all worth it. Thank you for watching Seeker Baby. I'm Angel Lakita Moore, and I hope you're enjoying learning more about babies as much as I am. If there's a baby topic you want us to cover, leave us a comment and keep coming back to Seeker. I'll see you next time.